Everyone, it's Docfire. Welcome to Docfire's Down and Dirty Reviews. If you're looking for unbiased reviews on autococker parts and markers, well, you've come to the right place. Because I have to buy this stuff out of my own pocket. Anyway, enjoy the show. And you have a good time here? Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Have a good one. Hey everyone, it's Docfire. It's time for another Docfire Down and Dirty Review. Today's review is going to be on the autocockerparts.com slide trigger. Now, a couple months back, I did a review on their single hinge trigger and kind of a long-term report on that. It's shooting great. I really like it. And if you haven't had a single hinge trigger and you're not really into sliders, then I'd give that one a try. I think they're, I know they sell them on the site. You can get them in gloss or dust or whatever, but let's get back onto this review and let's start going through some of the details. This is available on autocockerparts.com, and I'm going to put the price, so it should show up on the screen here in a second. But with that, you have some different options on what you can get. This is the gloss black version. They also have it in dust, and if I recall, I think you can get it in raw anode if you want, or raw unanodized. But you can get a hold of autocockerparts.com if you're doing a project, and I'm sure they can ship you one raw. But and then additionally, they have ones that are slotted for T-slot, and this is the T-slotted version because I'm going to be utilizing this Inception Designs T-slot, and it fits really nice. You're going to see there what it looks like on the frame. Some people are curious. I have I think rather large hands. I'm 6'2", and you know, how does this fit down here? You can see I can still slide it on and off. It does rub a little bit there, but it's nothing sharp. There's no sharp edges or anything like that. So it does fit this T-slot fine. Also, if you are thinking about doing one of these type of ASAs later, you still have the two 10x32 screw holes. If you want to put on a regular ASA, you can. And then they sell this in non-T-slotted versions, so you can have either one. And once again, they come in the gloss black and the dust. And so this is how this trigger frame comes. Now, when I called Gene after I made the order, he mentioned to me that they ship with the trigger plates with these have the oblong holes. So if we look in here, I'm going to zoom in here, it's just a little easier. If we look here, this guy's got the oblong hole in there, all right? And he says you can option it if you're going to want to, that's how he normally ships them. If you want the regular hole, he will include that, or he will change that. You just need to give him a call on that. Depends on what you want. I actually wanted the longer trigger travel on this one because it's for a special project that I'm working on, and I'm trying out something different in my triggers. But it has this reminiscence of kind of the older Carter frames a little bit, and because of this right here, if I can pull out another frame here and compare it against, let's see. All right, so this is a ANS frame, and this is a cap frame, and I think I have a benchmark around here somewhere. I don't have a benchmark readily available. I have a benchmark in the large variety, but the benchmark usually has this curve right here, so you can kind of see that, or something like that. So he went straight down here, which is just a little different. This different style that's out there. I kind of like it. It is, you can see here, it does kind of arc up here, so you get your hand gets up higher on the trigger, which I like. Kind of like that's what I like about the bell cells, is you get to ride your hand up a little bit higher, and so that's nice. It comes as photoed right here with some screws. So it has your frame screws, the two frame screws that are shorter, and I'll show you the reasons why that, and then it has all your grip screws. So you don't have to worry about the screws. They're stainless steel screws. It's fully assembled. It actually came with lubrication on it, and some of the kind of the finer details Let's get up in here. If you can see, it's got a brass tip screw, and we're going to take this apart here in a second and see if the inside one's a brass tip. A metal trigger plate, and this is the neat thing about it, is it's T-slotted on both sides. So what you can do is your screw goes in here and it slides in there, and it's hidden. So you don't see the screws in the bottom. Now, let's say you don't like that. You can still run a screw through the bottom. You can use your standard frame screws for that. Still run a screw through the bottom like that. But I do like that, and that's kind of one of the neat features about this, being that it is T-slotted, and it hides those frame screws and kind of gets them out of the way, which you don't have rubbing. If you have a frame screw that's been chewed up from an Allen wrench or something like that, you don't have it rubbing on the back of your web of your thumb, which is nice. Stuff like that. But let's dive into this a little bit deeper and see what the internal parts look like. I get the right Allen here. Give me a second. I think it's this little thin one. Yeah. Oh, those are on there nice and tight. That's good. Feel like there may have been a little bit of Loctite on that. We're going to put that in. We're going to pull this frame spring out. Pull these guys here. Okay, we're going to shove that pin out. And we're going to take this trigger plate out. So there is a spring on the inside. I think I may have popped out somewhere. But let's go look at these parts here, and I'll have to find that spring here in a minute. So the plate on it is a kind of pre-98 plate, which is not what I expected, but it's a nice thick plate. It's not a thin one, so this has got the pre-98 cut on it. If I can get this all focused in here. I'm going to zoom in. Let it focus here. There we go. So let's look at. It's fairly smooth on the top. The finishes all look fairly good. It's not chrome plated, it's just steel plate, so you'll probably have to treat it with something. Just make sure you have oil on it. Okay, go through. Looks like it's been tumbled. And so it is a pre-98 style. And then inside we do have, let's see if I can get you can see the other brass tip screw in there. So it's got the second brass tip screw. Over here, there's my other spring, right there. So it has two brass tip screws. And I'm going to go through it. It's like, that's all oil from my hands. The finish on the outside, it's a decent polish. It's not the best polish I've seen, but it's kind of, I would say, stock War Games polish. If I can rub it off, let me get a towel here. Get all the fingerprints off of it. Can I see that? It's a nice, and the anode black is a nice, good black. It's not a purple black, which always kind of bugs me when I see stuff like that. It means that whatever anodizer you're using is kind of cheap on their black, or it's worn out. There aren't any sharp edges. Everything's been deburred, which is that's a huge plus. I don't find anything with that. The roller sear, get that up in there. So it looks like the standard War Games roller sear, except, or their regular sear, and then they have a roller sear on it, and it's a small ball bearing on it. It feels nice and smooth, rolls nice. The pin. So all in all, let's zoom out here. This part's it actually looks pretty nice. It's pretty well put together. The only thing that I was kind of shocked on is the plate is not the standard. Let me grab a standard plate here. It's It's a variant of the variant, I think, of the 98, or maybe it is right on the 98. No, it is a 98 plate, pre-98 plate, so it's not even a variant. So you'd have to keep that in mind if you wanted to change the plate on it. This plate's nice and fat. It has a lot of room for polishing, which is nice. And let's see if even this plate will even fit in. No, it won't even fit. So that plate will never go in. I'm actually thinking about doing my own plate for this. But the plate here is really nice. So it is not. It has the 2 glide screws. They're brass tipped, and so there's a lot of work you can do to this frame. Already is nice and smooth. It feels good. The nice thick trigger plate feels really good. The hole in here isn't that big, and you can always, if you got this and you wanted to get away with not a big hole, either you can flatten your timing rod a little bit, or you could put a little heat shrink around your timing rod. Is another way to get it where it fits in there a little snugger and doesn't have much slop. Or you can just order it with the one that is the standard hole, because he said he does have those. But not a bad little item. And so things that you can do to tune on it, which is nice, is you can run the flat surfaces over sandpaper, like some 800 grit and stuff like that. Sand it, or just run it on a buffing wheel and polish it up. You could take these 2 brass tip screws out, and you could kind of dome the top of them and polish the top, so there's a less of a contact surface. And just those little fine-tuning things will make this thing even a better frame. But out of the box, the frame is as smooth as any War Games frame that was out there. I think it fits right in the market of what I would expect at it. It does come with a roller sear, and these sears I've never had issues with. For all the years of owning Cockers, these War Game sears seem to have always worked. And what I think he's done is I think he machines the end of them and then has that bearing pressed into it. So all in all, not a bad frame for the price, and it's gonna go on my next build. So we're gonna show a shooting video of this on the next build, and so stay tuned to that. It may be a Facebook Live thing coming up pretty soon, or you just may see it as another YouTube video. So stay tuned, like and subscribe, hit that alarm bell button so you know when the next video pops. All right, Docfire out.